We often hear about autism regression in children, but what about adults? What happens when you start losing the skills you've had for years? Forgetting words, struggling to function, or feeling like your brain just isn't working anymore? It's terrifying, and it happens to more autistic adults than people realize. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If I could please ask you to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel and our community grow. I'm so proud of the amazing community we've built here. So many people sharing their stories, learning from each other, and realizing they're not alone. Today we're diving into autism regression in adults. What it is, why it happens, the signs to look out for, and how to recover when it does. Number 1, what autism regression in adults actually is. Adult regression is something that's commonly recognized in children, but it's much less talked about in adults. In essence, it's a noticeable decline in abilities, things like social engagement, communication, executive functioning, or even emotional regulation. When it happens, it can look like you're losing access to certain skills you've always had. You might find yourself forgetting words mid-sentence, struggling to plan or organize, losing track of time or routines, or feeling like even the smallest tasks take everything that you've got. It's not that your autism is getting worse, it's that your brain and body are overloaded. It's your nervous system's way of saying, I can't keep up anymore. Regression can happen gradually or all at once, and for many autistic adults, it can be really confusing, especially when no one talks about it or prepares you for it. Number 2, my experience with adult regression. I've gone through burnout a few times now, and each time it feels like it takes a little piece of me. I remember one period where I'd forgot words, forgot where I'd left my car keys, and I was always so tired that I could barely function. It was really scary, and I honestly felt like I was losing myself. Back then I didn't know I was autistic, and I just thought that I was failing at life. After my diagnosis, everything clicked. I finally understood what was happening and I stopped blaming myself. And I want to say this too, you don't have to be officially diagnosed for that understanding to be valid. Self-diagnosis is just as important. It gives you language for what you're experiencing and helps you understand how your brain works. That awareness makes it so much easier to recognize things like burnout or regression when they start to show up. For me, that knowledge has been life-changing. Now, when regression hits, I know I need rest and gentleness, not guilt. Number 3, why regression happens. There are a lot of factors that can contribute to autistic regression in adults. Chronic stress and burnout are the big ones. When stress builds up for too long without proper recovery, it can push your body into a full state of autistic burnout. And from there, regression can follow. Recognizing it early really helps because that's your window to slow down and get support before things spiral too far. Some common signs include avoiding social interactions, withdrawing from people or just finding it harder to keep up with relationships. Emotional dysregulation, more frequent meltdowns, shutdowns, or moments where your emotions just feel too big to handle. Becoming more dependent on routines. Someone who was once flexible might suddenly feel anxious or distressed by change. Losing some verbal communication skills. Maybe you struggle to find words or go nonverbal when overwhelmed. Heightened sensory sensitivities. Sounds, lights, or textures that used to be fine now feel unbearable. And sometimes age regression behaviors. Things like rewatching childhood shows, cuddling stuffed animals, or speaking in a softer, simpler way. That last one, age regression, it's actually really common and it's not childish, it's a coping mechanism. It's your brain's way of finding safety again when the world feels too much. Other causes can include trauma or major life changes, like losing a job, ending a relationship, or grief. Sensory overload can lead to regression too. That's when your environment keeps overwhelming you day after day. And mental health factors like anxiety or depression can make everything harder. One major factor is a lack of accommodations. When you're constantly forced to mask or adapt in environments not built for you, it drains your energy until something gives. Regression isn't failure. It's your body saying, I need care, not pressure. Number 4, signs you might be heading toward regression. You start feeling constantly tired even after a full night's sleep. You make simple mistakes or forget things you never had trouble with before. You might lose interest in things that usually make you happy. Your sensory tolerance drops. Lights, sounds, and textures start to feel unbearable. And emotionally, you feel fragile, like you're always one step away from a meltdown or shutdown. Even everyday decisions, like what to eat, when to shower, can feel overwhelming. Number 5, how to recover from regression. Recovering from regression isn't a quick fix. It's a process of gently rebuilding safety and stability. First, you need rest, and I mean real rest, not just scrolling on your phone while you're lying down. And it's important to remember that your brain isn't broken. It's healing, and it needs quiet and recovery time. Then, start reducing demands wherever possible. Simplify your routines. Cut down your to-do lists and give yourself permission to do the bare minimum for a while. Next, focus on comfort and sensory regulation. Surround yourself with things that make you feel grounded. Soft lighting, comfy clothes, time in nature, weighted blankets, deep pressure, or stinging. Whatever calms your system is valid. Now let's talk about support, because you don't have to go through this alone. Supporting someone through regression or supporting yourself through it really comes down to patience and creating a stable, predictable environment. That might mean identifying and reducing stresses where you can and allowing adjustments, less workload, fewer social commitments, and more flexibility in your daily life. Prioritizing self-care and sensory regulation, even small things like regular meals and quiet time make a big difference. Keeping a structured routine. Predictability helps you regain a sense of control. Getting professional help if you can. Therapy, occupational therapy, or even online support groups. The most important part is being kind to yourself. Regression isn't something to push through, it's something to recover from slowly with gentleness and compassion. Number 6, can you prevent regression? Well, you can't always stop regression. Life is unpredictable, but you can lower the risk and soften the impact. The best prevention is proactive rest. Don't wait until you crash to take a break. Build downtime into your life like it's non-negotiable. That means rest days, quiet evenings, or sensory breaks during the day. Know your early warning signs. Maybe you might start missing meals, zoning out, or feeling disconnected from people. Those small signals matter. Catching them early gives you a chance to take a step back before full burnout hits. Protect your sensory environment. Noise-cancelling headphones, soft lighting, and comfortable textures can make a world of difference. Now, this one can be hard for a lot of us, but unmask when you can. Masking constantly is exhausting. Even short periods of being your authentic self with people you trust or just when you're alone helps your nervous system recover. And finally, build support systems, friends, family, online communities, or therapists who understand autism. You really don't need to do everything alone. Preventing regression isn't about perfection. It's about building a life that's sustainable for your brain and body. Number 7, my final thoughts. Regression doesn't mean you're losing who you are. It's not weakness, and it's certainly not failure. It's your body's way of saying, I've been strong for too long. Each time it happens, you learn more about your limits and how to care for yourself next time. And if you've been through it more than once, that doesn't mean you're not improving. It means you're human and you're surviving in a world that often asks too much. So if you're in that space right now, please know it gets better. With rest, support, and time, those skills and strengths can come back. Maybe not all at once, and maybe not exactly the same. but you will find yourself again, piece by piece. If you've experienced regression or burnout, please feel free to share your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to know they're not the only one going through it. And I'll link that NeuroLaunch article below. It really is an insightful read. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this incredible community. If this video resonated with you, please hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. It really helps our community grow. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.